I'm Teacher Kathy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, so I'm going to do a series of videos talking about my homeschool story because not only am I an online teacher, I'm a veteran homeschool mom. I have three kids who are grown and adults now, and I homeschooled them from birth basically until they went off to college. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that and how I did it and why I did it and what curriculum I used and what changed and developed over the years and how that relates to my online teaching. Okay? So let's get started. But before I do that, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and the like and the bell so you get notified as I post each of these videos because they are going to be separate. They're not going to be all in one. All right, so here we go. So today's video is going to be just mostly the backstory of why I got to the point of where I am. Okay? When I was in high school, I wanted to always be a teacher and I wanted to teach special needs kids. I had a real connection and link to people with special needs and developmental issues. And then when I graduated high school, I got married and I had kids. When my oldest was about 2 and we moved to where we live now in California, I realized that I didn't want to send her off to school for 8 hours a day. It was really actually mostly purely selfishness that I ended up homeschooling because I didn't want my baby to go away for 8 hours a day. Why did somebody else get to have her for that long? She was mine. So we started exploring homeschooling. And when I moved to the area where I live now, I started connecting with homeschool groups, which I highly recommend because it builds repertoire for you and your kids, makes friendships that last a lifetime. One thing that I was told when I found some of the homeschool groups by a veteran homeschool mom at the time was she told me, relax. She's 2. You've got plenty of time. And that kind of helped me relax and be at ease and realize that it was a journey that I was on. It was a long race. It wasn't a sprint. I didn't need to rush. We'll fast forward a little bit, and as time moved on and things developed, I started teaching her how to read and how to write. My daughter really was interested in that at a very young age, 3, 4, 5. But then we ended up having another kid. So then that just kind of developed into with the other kid learning as well. And then number 3 comes along, and so on and so forth. And then it became like a lifestyle. I tried different curriculums. I started off with box curriculum. I started off with workbooks. I got the big textbooks. I tried everything. And it varied for each kid on what I used and how I used it. But I kind of got my hands on a little bit of everything until I found what worked. And I learned that not every kid is the same. Not every parent's teaching is the same. And it's going to be different curriculums, different types of teaching, and how you do it approached with each kid. So, and it worked. And I got a lot of flack when my kids were little, being told that I was going to ruin them for life and they were going to be messed up kids and they weren't going to socialize. Well, we were always so busy with all the homeschool groups and homeschool activities that we barely had time to homeschool as it was. So, yes, my kids got socialized a lot. No, they didn't go to prom and they didn't do the dances and things like that, but we did other activities that they enjoyed: roller skating, drama, singing, music lessons, soccer. I mean, they did all kinds of stuff. So my kids were not at lack for activities. Now that they're adults and in their own lives and going to college, I see the benefits now of what that reaped, and their outlook on life and society and how they're learning now has really helped that they didn't have the traditional schooling method. Now, not to say that that's bad for anybody that does that, but it just works. So when my youngest was in high school and my other two had already moved out and moved on with their lives into college and whatnot, I started getting into working online. I had worked online as a virtual assistant, which is an administrative assistant, so I do have that training. If anybody is looking for a virtual assistant, I have that ability, and I'm now an online teacher, so I can help those online teachers that want that. And then I did a little bit of uh, behavioral therapy with a company locally, and then I came back to working from home, and because COVID hit, of course, and everything shut down, and I went and checked out a website, which is OutSchool, which you see all over my stuff. And the reason I got into that is my son wanted to take coding classes, and we ended up finding this company for him to take classes from college professors about computer coding and programs, which was awesome. It was amazing and he loved it. He found love. That's what he's going to go to school for. And so I decided to try out OutSchool and see if I could do the online teaching thing. I also tried VIP Kid, but what got me with that was the whole teaching at 3 in the morning for me because it didn't work. And I've gone through all that phase with my kids and I can't do that anymore. So I decided to stick with OutSchool and it seems to be working well and doing very well. I can keep the hours I want. I can take time off when I want. It's been amazing and I absolutely love it. And now that I've been doing this for a couple of years now, I have a whole lot of curriculum. So I'm now starting to put that up on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I think I found a new niche that I really like is sharing and creating different curriculum and lessons that I use. So what I ended up settling on with my kids was mostly workbooks, not textbooks, but actual storybooks. So like Sunlight is a great curriculum for that. I did reading for comprehension, spelling workout, Wordly Wise, explode the code phonics. These are all the ones that I did, and I absolutely love them. And some of these resources I use today in the lessons that I recreate for my online classes. I don't use it verbatim, but I take information and how they did it and kind of turn it into my own digitally. So there you go. That's in a nutshell what it was like for me for homeschooling. So the next thing I'll probably go into is a little bit more detail about each of the curriculums that I do and state laws. And then, of course, I'll go into homeschool groups, more detail of what you can do and how you can find it. So stay tuned, okay? So you can catch the rest of those videos. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.